into the site audit function. Site audit means that it helps you to identify health or any errors in your website which are technical. Could be security or misconfiguration or any technical related problems within your website. Site audit tool will help you to figure it out. In order to set it up, you just need to click on setup and it will open up a pop-up again for you, where basically you set up the settings or audit settings on how it should be crawled when you be doing it for your website. Basically, the first one is something called scope. Basically, you are saying that I want all the web pages and all the resources within this website to be crawled. This will be the most used for most of the people, but in case you have some customization, something like you want to have, let's say for example, I'm clicking on the example, it shows that instead of the root domain, you want only a subdomain to be crawled, you can do that as well. Or if you want to have a subfolder only to be crawled, you can do that as well. So you can see the examples, and based on this example, you can figure it out how you want to set it up for your need. But I would recommend, or for most of you, it will be like just the root domain. So I'm going to keep it in root domain, and this is where the number of pages for the crawl, like you can set it up, I only want 100 page to be crawled, or you can go depending on your need. Basically, this gives the limit for the project to crawl up to maximum this number of website. It can be for various reasons. You can choose different numbers for website load, or only concentrated on few URLs at a time, or you can do all the URL. For example, I can choose something like 10,000 because I know that there is no 10,000 pages on my website, but instead still I can keep it as a 10,000 limit. So I know that all of my web pages is going to be crawled. So I can limit the pages as here, and I can set up the crawl source. Here also it's a bit technical. Most of you guys won't need it because most of you can leave it as website itself, because that is the normal way of crawling the website. But in case if you want to find all the web pages from the sitemap, you can set it up as that as the possibility. For example, rather than directly going to the website and trying to find all the web pages, go to website, find the sitemap within the website, and find all the pages through the sitemap. Or you can give your own sitemap URL. If you want to crawl through the sitemap URL, you can give that. Or instead, if you have a list of URLs where you just want to crawl all those web pages URL you are going to provide and give an analysis on that, you can do that as well. So depending on your need, you can switch it up. But for most, it will be just website here as well. The second step is the crawler setting. Here also it's a bit technical, but just to give you an idea, basically every crawler will have a user agent, identifying who's the person who making all this request and everything, where you have something called sitebot or sitebot. It might show in your traffic analytics when you are tracking all these visitors for your website. So I would recommend is to keep either Googlebot desktop or Googlebot mobile in case most of your website or you are concerned about performance issue on the mobile. Choose between one of this. The reason I'm saying to recommend this is that it will help you to, for example, you are doing all the organic stuff because Google is the #1 king on search engine market. Most of the traffic is going to be coming for it. So when you are doing crawling also, it's really good to emulate Google, because if there's any problem discovered, that most of the time it will be the same problem Googlebot is facing when they are crawling our website. So it's good to keep it as a user agent as Googlebot itself to get much more optimal performance when it comes to Google search engine ranking. And crawl delay is something like, for example, when you set minimum delay, it means like it's going to go really fast when it looking for web pages. So if you think it's going to trigger some security measures, or if you don't want to load your website too much, ideally you should not be using this. But most of the time it will be suitable for most websites, because if it's a small website, it's going to quickly go through all the pages and do it quickly. But in case if you encounter some issues, you can obviously go for this one where it's going to be one URL per 2 seconds. So it's going to limit and crawl all the things, but it's going to take too much time to finish compared to something like this. So depending on your need, you can do. And respect also. For example, robot text is something like an advanced technical strategy in SEO, where we can filter out and say that I don't want, you can see, give instructions to crawler or any bot which is crawling your websites, instructions saying, I don't want you to go through these web pages. I don't want you to go through these particular folders. You can control your website architecture like that. The reason is sometimes you don't want some of the web pages or sections of the folder it being indexed on Google, can be because of private web pages or confidential or something like a dynamic web pages, or any number of reasons can be. Depending on that, if you want to respect the crawler, because most of the something like Google, they will do respect it. So depending on your need, you can set it up here as well. Allow and disallow is also gives you an advanced control. Most of you won't need to use this, but in case if you want to allow or crawl only the pages containing a specific word or link, we call it as a parameter link, permalink. So if you want to do something like, I want to do a scan only on the URLs which containing that word, you can do that. Or you can say, I don't want to do a crawl to any URLs containing this particular word. You can do that as well from here. It also shows several examples on how to use this through here as well. The next one is to remove URL parameter. You might experience this issue in case if you have an e-commerce website or website with something like a directory or a search capability with a lot of filters. You will see that something like a page, and they will put something like, once you set up some filters or search something with filters, you will see something like question mark and filter name and filter value, which typically means that that is a dynamically generated page, obviously. So if you don't want to consider those pages as separate pages, you can set up all those instructions here as well. And here the next one is the bypassed website restriction. Basically means that I'm saying that do not respect robot text or robot meta. Like I told you, right, we can define and say do not do this. It's more like a request to the user. We can't totally control it. So in case if you want our bot to be go through that and you don't care about those restrictions and just crawl everything, you can set it up as you want. My advice, don't do this, because it's not useful for when you are looking for ranking. Because if it's something on Google, a robot text is disabled, obviously Google is also most of the time not going to crawl that as well. And in case if you have a private website or a website is still not available publicly, you just give the username and password when it asks for the permission, and SEMRush will use that to crawl the website. And finally, schedule. If you want to schedule this daily or weekly, depending on your need, or just once, depending on your need. The reason is, once you do this crawl, it will show all the errors for you. So when you keep on fixing this issue, whenever new report is run, you will automatically notice the progress. It will track all the changes being done. So you can get an idea on it, and also you can keep a schedule on it. So ideally, I would recommend once every week is really good. You don't need it daily. So just keep it something which is like every Monday or something, which is really good recommended setting for you. And also, if you want to receive every time audit is done, you can obviously do that. I can take it off. So once that is done, and let me see what I'm missing. Obviously, I'm missing something. Sorry about this, guys. I need to take it out because this is a public website. Once that is done, I need to click on Start Site Audit. Now it will set up the project and start crawling through my website to identify all the technical issues within this. So let me wait until this goes to a different page. You can see it automatically starts working towards it. It's already gone and found 5 pages, and it will keep on finding more pages. I will get back to it once I cover other modules as well. For example, I'm going into the SEO project, and I'm going into the project here, and you can see 5 pages. And it will keep on finding more pages. I will get back to it once I cover other modules as well. For example, I'm going into the SEO project, and I'm going into the project here, and you can see 5 pages. And it will keep on finding more pages. I will get back to it once I cover other modules as well. For example, I'm going into the SEO project, and I'm going into the project here, The next one on the list is like, you can see it has done position tracking, site audit is done. Site audit is